Over the past 100 days, the Trump administration has sought to translate its policy agenda into tangible political capital. This milestone traditionally prompts high-profile events designed to galvanize supporters and underscore presidential achievements. Yet on April 29, 2025, the administration's first major rally of its second century in office took place in an expo center outside Detroit that exposed persistent challenges in sustaining popular momentum. The venue, a mid-size exposition hall, was notable for its stark emptiness. With seating capacity for approximately 6,000 attendees, fewer than 3,000 people attended, leaving wide swaths of vacant seats. Sparse crowd density was evident in both the main floor and the elevated bleachers, reinforcing perceptions of a campaign struggling to fill its own arenas. Photographs of the event circulated widely on social media, emphasizing long stretches of empty chairs behind the podium. In parallel, Michigan's Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer, successfully secured federal approval and funding for the expansion of an Air Force installation in the Detroit region. Her achievement in navigating Pentagon bureaucracy and bipartisan support stood in stark contrast to the half-empty rally. Observers noted that while the governor could marshal the legislative and community backing necessary to enhance local defense infrastructure, the administration could not muster comparable enthusiasm for its celebratory gathering. Closer examination reveals that attendance numbers were bolstered not solely by organic grassroots interest. Auto industry union members and their families were reportedly provided transportation by chartered buses, with instructions to occupy designated sections and display pre-printed placards bearing scripted slogans. Insider accounts confirm that some attendees felt obligated to participate, underlining the administration's reliance on organized labor affiliates to stage a more robust turnout. Even so, the spectacle fell short of a traditional whistle-stop tour, offering instead a subdued platform for presidential remarks. The rally followed a series of challenging media interactions for President Trump, in interviews published by Time magazine and The Atlantic, and an on-air segment with ABC News correspondent Terry Moran. The president faced pointed questions about policy inconsistencies and personal conduct. Critics interpreted these exchanges as emblematic of an administration struggling to maintain coherent messaging. Polling data collected immediately afterward indicated further dips in approval ratings among both independent voters and segments of the Republican base. In response to the slide in public support, senior advisors redirected the president back to the campaign trail. For months, he balanced official duties with rounds of golf at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster, as well as reports of leisurely dinners accompanied by red wine. Administration insiders acknowledged that these recreational pursuits, while humanizing, did not translate into measurable gains at the polls. The Michigan event thus represented a strategic pivot, an effort to demonstrate vigor and reconnect with core supporters. Simultaneously, Democratic office holders capitalized on the symbolic moment of 4 traditional town halls held by leading governors, each vying for their party's 2028 presidential nomination. These forums, part of a coordinated 100-day series, provided a counter-narrative to the president's gathering, focusing on policy proposals and constituent concerns. Town hall engagement emphasized transparency and community input, contrasting sharply with the orchestrated signage and limited audience interaction witnessed at the Michigan rally. When the president took the podium, his remarks unfolded over approximately 90 minutes. He revisited established themes: aggressive criticism of former Vice President Joe Biden, pledges to nominate strict constructionist judges, and declarations of support for law enforcement. He invoked radical communist judges purportedly undermining constitutional rights and proposed sweeping measures to reverse their perceived liberal activism. Absent, however, were substantive policy outlines or detailed legislative roadmaps. Economic policy provided a recurring motif throughout the address, though the narrative underscored a pattern of abrupt reversals. Just prior to landing at the rally, the president signed a proclamation to suspend new tariffs on domestic auto producers, an about-face following a widely criticized tariff schedule that had imposed additional levies on steel and aluminium imports. Similar volatility characterized technology sector policies. An initially proposed tax rebate for semiconductor manufacturers was rescinded days after chief executives warned of production disincentives. The resulting uncertainty has frustrated both corporate leaders and investors. One notable corporate disengagement came from Elon Musk, whose advisory role within the administration was quietly dissolved in early April. Tesla's stock price has declined some 30% since the start of the year, and recent quarterly earnings revealed underwhelming vehicle delivery figures. Legal filings by institutional shareholders now entertain claims of fiduciary neglect, alleging that Musk's divided attention and political entanglements have eroded brand value and operational focus. Underlying the administration's struggles is a palpable shift among independent voters, a reversal from his 2016 coalition when swing voters played a decisive role. Political analysts warn that without regaining even a fraction of this bloc, the Republican Party faces an uphill battle in maintaining national competitiveness beyond its core base. These political developments unfold against the challenging economic backdrop. Inflation remains above 4% year over year, with grocery and energy prices climbing steadily. Manufacturing output has contracted by nearly 3%, and global trade volumes are down between 20% and 40%, in part due to reciprocal tariff measures enacted by major trading partners. Empty shipping containers line US ports, while retail shelves showed persistent shortages during last winter's holiday season, a phenomenon foreshadowed in April when supply chain disruptions delayed spring merchandise. As the administration navigates these intersecting crises, legal, political, and economic, the Michigan rally serves as a microcosm of broader challenges. The low turnout and staged atmosphere underscore difficulties in mobilizing grassroots enthusiasm. Policy reversals highlight inconsistencies that undermine business confidence, and departures of high-profile advisors signal waning corporate support. Collectively, these factors contribute to an image of an administration in search of strategic coherence. Looking ahead, the president's advisors face a narrow window to recalibrate messaging and policy execution. Restoring independent voter confidence may require more than theatrics. It demands a clear framework for addressing inflation, securing supply chains, and articulating a cohesive judicial philosophy. Otherwise, the spectacle of empty seats in Michigan may come to symbolize a campaign adrift. In the coming weeks, Legal AF and the Midas Touch Network will continue to monitor developments, providing in-depth analysis at the intersection of law and politics. As this administration approaches the midpoint of its first term, the capacity to convert public events into sustained political momentum will prove decisive. This is Michael Popop reporting. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, Legal AF has just launched its dedicated YouTube channel to bring you the most incisive coverage at the convergence of law and politics. Your engagement sustains this endeavour. Thanks to your support, we have surpassed 600,000 subscribers in just 7 months. As we advance toward the 1 million subscriber milestone, your viewership and feedback remain vital. Subscribe now to Legal AF on YouTube. Search for @LegalAFMTN to ensure you receive our weekly in-depth reports, town hall analyses, and expert interviews. Your subscription helps us expand our pro-democracy mission, fund investigative journalism, and continue delivering the rigorous, fact-driven content you expect.